Hi everybody, Matt Fitzgerald here, and it's been forever since my last video devlog, and for that I do apologize. There have been so many things going on and so many things to talk about, so many updates concerning the game. But for this particular one, within this video I wanted to address a few things that people have been asking me about a lot, like, is the game coming to Mac? Is the game going to get an Ouya release? Is the game going to get a Wii U or a 3DS release? Also, people have asked me a lot about what the game's difficulty is going to be like and just what my stance on difficulty is. So I'd like to address, the game's difficulty, how and what I'm trying to achieve with it, and just my stance on video game difficulty in general and stuff like that. But yeah, real quick, here's the latest alpha build that I've posted live, and I do apologize for the frame rate. I had to cap it while I'm capturing here, so when I get hit like that, you're going to see the player disappear, and that's because I've got a flicker effect going on, and since it's capturing at 30 frames per second, it's going to come up as it looks like he's invisible. But anyway, I ramble. Yeah, the game difficulty I'd like to address first, and that's I like games that are challenging. I don't like artificial difficulty. So I want the game to be tough, and try to stay away from artificial difficulty as much as possible. And by artificial difficulty, I mean just presenting the player with almost insurmountable obstacles, that it would probably take a stroke of luck to get through, and things. Things like a lot of older games did because of their brevity. They had to kind of put a lot of difficulty as padding and to make it, feel like it lasted longer, because it took more attempts to get it right in a playthrough. But for this, with combat, I wanted to achieve very much a sort of stick and move style of combat. Getting to learn your weapon's reach and the way it, how fast it is. Each of the weapons have a different speed. Weapon types have a different speed. So learning how to handle your weapons is important. Learning the distance. I just got hit right there, but learning the tricks that you're going to, learning how to use the tricks that you're going to pick up along the way. And if you get really, really good at it, you'll be able to get through fights and things without taking any licks or any damage. But yeah, the thing I wanted to focus on the most with the difficulty was sort of a fair introduction to how everything works, how the mechanics play and stuff like that, without totally punishing new players and things. And I've also been kind of thinking about difficulty settings as well, but not going the cheap route and just making the hardest difficulty mean that all of the enemies have like higher HP or something. I want to use slightly different mechanics. For example, like when you run into an enemy, let's see if we can find one here. The spawning is not perfect yet in these procedurally generated encounters, but like if you run into an enemy, there's that old like platformer trope kind of thing where you'll take damage if you run into them like this, So I'm kind of toying with different difficulty settings where like the light one would be like you'd only take stun or something. You'd only get stunned and not take any contact damage, and only take damage unless they actually struck you with a melee weapon or a ranged weapon or something like that, or if you fell on spikes, or if an enemy had spiked armor, like those spiked rock biter caterpillars in the caves. It would make sense, to take real damage when colliding with them. So I have kind of been thinking about employing different difficulty settings and using tougher mechanics in each of the progressively more difficult settings. So that's something to think about. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, also too, like I want to reward the player as well if they want to be brave enough to tackle some of the tougher spots. This guy's not done yet. in the latest build, I accidentally put him in, the big bearded guy. He's based off of a popular Twitch TV streamer that goes by Indie, and I put him in the game just because he has an awesome look. Like, he's got the beard and the mohawk and all that stuff. And he recently celebrated his partnership, so I put in a little secret level and stuff. And I forgot to take that version of him in this room out of the latest alpha build that I made public. But so whoops. But so yeah, he's not fully functionable yet. He just kind of stands there. But yeah, that's sort of my stance on difficulty at this point. I don't want it to be unfair, and I don't want it to completely destroy newcomers. I want it to be balanced and fair. And so, of course, all that's easier said than done, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm going to do my damnedest to make it as fun as possible without totally kicking your butt right off the bat. But also have plenty of like optional dungeons and areas and stuff that require a little bit more oomph from the player to get through. So yeah, largely as far as the combat goes, I really want to go for kind of a stick and move sort of combat, similar to something like Dark Souls or something, you know, waiting for that window that you can get a hit in safely without taking damage yourself. So a lot of the enemies have, you know, they telegraph and stuff. They, you know when they're about to take a swing at you or shoot an arrow like that. So, yeah, just giving the player a heads up to know when and where they can strike, and to get used to that. It's not going to, you know, be apparent at first, but the more you play, the more you will learn, you know your enemy kind of stuff. So yeah, I wanted to approach combat and difficulty in a very sort of like puzzle mentality. You know, give you the tools to overcome a fight in different ways. So that's kind of my stance on difficulty. I love the old school challenge stuff as much as, you know, anyone else who likes that. And I love knowing that I made it through a very difficult game or portion of a game by, you know, skill alone. So I also want to communicate that in this game as well. So yeah, that's kind of how that goes. But yeah, all kinds of things have gone on with this game since since last we spoke. The green light has been up for about a week or more. Kickstarter for the game is not quite a week old, but it's off to a great start. And yeah, I just want to thank all the backers so far for that as well. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the mechanics and everything. Maybe do a little bit of a tutorial session, because I get asked a lot of questions about that too. And oh my god, like so many YouTubers and Let's Players and streamers have taken a crack at this game, and I really appreciate that as well. A lot of really awesome, fun videos. In the last update on the Kickstarter page, I listed a bunch of them, so you can go there and check it out. But yeah, let's see here. So we have armor and melee weapons are the main things that are in the game right now, as well as sub-weapons. And when you pick up an item, like that meat that's in the green box up there, you see that blue reticle around it? That means that that sub-item is actively selected. And to use any of those things, you hold the up button and hit attack. And there you go, I just used some meat. Likewise, the same thing for the throwing daggers and the axes, or the versions that I have in the game at the moment are throwing dirks and hurl bats. And the daggers, same thing, you hold up, and oops, I knocked that spike around a little bit. Yeah, you hold up and hit attack, and he'll throw a knife. And it also has a utilitarian use. You can use it to scale wooden structures and things, like so. And that's how I got up that gate in the room before. Same thing with the axes. Check it. You can also pick an axe up again if it doesn't hit an enemy. No real utilitarian purpose with the axes yet. There's one that I have in mind that's coming, so look out for that in another update. But yeah, as for the axes, you can get better at them. It is not in the game yet, but in a future build, closer to when the game's being finished, with everything, you can learn skills and things if you master a piece of armor or a weapon or anything like that. And the vanilla version of the throwing axes right now, or the hurl bats, if you will, you cannot have more than one out in the open at a time, because they're very powerful, they're very strong. And as you level up with them and master the different versions of the different throwing axes and stuff, you'll be able to fire off more in succession. But that's how the sub-weapons and the items work. And to equip them, let's go into the equip screen real quick. Go to equip, sub, and you can select between these 3 boxes. So if I were to say have fireweed, I could equip the fireweed. And now you see that I have fireweed in that green box, and I can use it. Same thing if you go into the item slot. You can cycle between all your items tabs and stuff. The quest tab is in there. The skill tab is in there. I've got wall jump right there. And when you select something, a context menu will appear. Sort does not work yet, but if you hit info, it'll give you some fluff text. From here as well, you can equip it to your sub slot. You can also use it straight. See right there, it exited the inventory automatically and used it. So yeah, there's that. Certain ones cannot be equipped, like the ore. That's a crafting item. The fetishes as well are kind of a hybrid item type. They're used in item reforging, which is not in the game yet. It's not in this build. They're used in item reforging, and they also have a consumable use. So if you use it, your favor will go down, and it will create a player fetish, or if you will, a one-up. That's basically what those things are. They're tokens that will allow you to cheat death. If you lose all your health, you'll just respawn in the place that you died, and it won't take away any experience points on the current weapon and armor that you're using. If you don't have any of those, your experience points will decrease on the weapon and armor that you're currently using, and can eventually be broken in that way. If they're level 0 and you die, there's a potential that the items will break and they'll be unusable unless you repair them later. So there's a give and take with the fetish system. You can see there I have favor 1. I used to have 2, but since I broke a god's fetish, my favor went down, but I gained an extra life. So that's how that works. As far as the weapons go, you can see, ooh, that's a bug right there. I have my armor maxed out, and that little blue bar is extending beyond the borders of the thing. But that would be considered mastered. Mastery has not been put in the game yet either, but once you master an armor or weapon, you will take away like a skill or a perk from that piece of armor or weapon. So it's important for the player to kind of explore and find all of these things so that they can max out their character's potential. Let's see. Same thing with the weapons. In addition to equipping a weapon to a sub slot, or a sub weapon to a sub slot, you can also equip it to a main hand slot. So now I have the axes just equipped to my normal hand. So if I hit attack, he'll just chuck an axe without me having to hold up. So yeah, and then you can get super accurate with it. Like if you duck and throw it, it'll be a different arc than if you're standing and throwing it. But yeah, same thing with the regular melee weapons. That's how you equip and unequip, is just hitting the. I'm using an Xbox 360 button right now, and it's the A button to equip and unequip an item. Yeah, I think that's about it so far with the certain mechanics. So yeah, experiment. Use your knives to scale wooden areas and stuff. Ooh, one thing I forgot to mention. Let's get out of here and get to a different spot that I can show you guys. All right, perfect. I got some more knives. Full-on knives. Let's head on over here again. And with these trees right here, in order to use your throwing knives to create platforms there, you hold up and hit attack just like you would when normally throwing a knife, but you want to keep holding the up button, and the dagger will stick in the tree. And the reason I did that is because like that. If there's an enemy on the other side of that tree and you want to chuck a dagger at him, letting go of the up button will just allow the dagger to keep flying and not get stuck in the tree behind you. But so yeah, I think of holding up as kind of like you're aiming at the tree that's in front of you. So that's kind of how that mechanic works at present. That might change with future builds, but that's essentially what it's doing right now. So that's how you use that to your advantage and to how to unlock areas that you might not be able to find otherwise. Like here, let's do one of these. Also, with I didn't need the daggers right there because of this guy. If you're wearing armor, you can use enemies to launch yourself up higher in the air and actually do a bit of stun to them. So yeah, that's how you make it up there. And the wall jump too. The wall jump is important to find some of the secret tribute pieces, or tribute pieces that kind of fill that skull up in there next to the player avatar. Once you find 3 of them, you'll get another wound token. So think of it like pieces of heart in Zelda. It's essentially what that is, just my own flavor. So yeah, with a wall jump, when you wall jump, it gives you extra momentum. So it takes you longer to slow down. So what I can do then, since jumping is variable and your vertical speed is dictated by how fast you're moving horizontally, right? So if I hit max speed and I jump and I hold down the jump button, I'm gonna jump higher than if I'm just standing still and jumping. So what I can do then with a wall jump, since I'm getting more horizontal speed out of it, is use it to, once I landed on this thing, I was able to just tap jump again and he kept going. And then I can get up onto that wall a bit higher, and that's how I grabbed that tribute piece. So there's some interesting, cool little like platformy puzzles at play here. Also, I apologize for this sort of ugly alpha square there. That's I'm still working on a cave lighting system that I like, and with the new architecture. Oh, there's another new thing too about this game is I completely switched development platforms, sort of like. I was working on this game in GameMaker 8.1, and I switched to GameMaker Studio, which is basically a rewritten version of the old GameMakers, and it handles the games very differently. So it took me about a solid month to kind of get this game to work in the new GameMaker Studio. For the better, I'll be able to do a lot of cooler different things with it, and it just runs much better than it did in GameMaker 8.1, which is probably my fault because it wasn't optimized. But yeah, there you go. Sorry for being overly verbose and kind of rambling a bit, but there's just so much information and so many things that have happened with this game just over the past couple of months. Heck, even the past week, it's just been one new thing after another. So. Yeah, Greenlight's up, Kickstarter's up. Go ahead and visit both of those. Would help me out immensely. Yeah, just keep checking back in for new updates to the alpha. I've got a lot of things that I'm working on right now, and for you backers on Kickstarter, I will try to keep you guys updated as much as possible with what I'm doing. Yeah, I hope this video was informative and answered some people's questions. Oh, I forgot to go over ports to things like Mac, Ouya, and the Nintendo platforms. As far as Ouya goes, that's included in the stretch goal. So all I would need is an Ouya console which an Ouya console is also doubles as a dev kit, which some people know, not a lot of people know, but if you have an Ouya, you can therefore make games on it. And what GameMaker Studio allows you to do, which is the software that I'm making Savage in, is it allows me to port to Android devices, but I would still need an Ouya to test this thing out on and make sure it worked properly. So that's in the stretch goals. A Mac port is also in the stretch goals. I would love to port this game to Mac, but I would need a Mac system of some kind to create the Mac standalone program for Savage, and debug and test it on, because there are changes that you need to make in your code base for stuff like this to work. And I just want to make sure that it runs and, you know, test the heck out of it before promising anything and before launching it and stuff like that. So that is in the stretch goals as well for a Mac port. As far as Wii U and 3DS goes, I still have to do some research on that and see what it would take to get the game ported onto a platform like that. I know that Nintendo is starting to kind of open its doors up to indie developers and be a little more lax on stuff like that. So that's something that I'm also working on, is trying to figure out how to go about doing that, and because people have been asking me about that quite a bit as well. So yeah, that's essentially what I've got going on right now, is a lot of reaching out to people to try to get eyes on the Kickstarter and the green light, and putting in development time where I can on this. I've also started streaming game development that I will post and let you guys know about, especially on the Kickstarter page, so you backers can actually come in on my Twitch channel and watch me work on it and stuff like that. There's also a public bug reporting thing that I'm working on implementing too. Like I'm not sure if I'm going to go through Trello, which is a popular one, or use something like Google Docs, which was suggested to me by a friend as well, that he's used on his games and stuff and is currently using. So I need to look into that as well, see how it all works. I did set up a Trello page, and I have posted it in the Kickstarter comments section. But I think that for people to submit bugs to it, they actually need to have a Trello account. So yeah, I'll get that going for you guys, so that you can, so anyone who's playing the alpha can submit bugs and things like that, and just general suggestions and things that they'd like to see, or things that they'd like to see fixed or improved or whatever. You know, I want to engage you guys directly and see what you like, what you dislike, stuff like that. So yeah, thanks very much, guys, for sitting through this long-winded video, if you've made it this long. And yeah, I'm excited about the project. It's coming along, and it's already very playable and very fun if you want to check out the alpha. There's still a lot of bugs and a lot of things that haven't been implemented yet. So keep a lookout for more updates as I move through the public alpha. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thanks for all your support, for all the encouragement. It means a lot to me. Thanks for your excitement about the game, and I hope I answered some questions today on this video. But yeah, to you, my awesome barbarian horde army, I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next update.